Hey girl, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I was not expecting to be back so soon. Why am I here? Okay, it's Monday. It's Monday morning. I'm running late for work. I am speeding in the car right now. Okay, I'm not speeding, but I'm trying to get there as quickly as I can. But I had to hop on because this morning, taking my girls to school, I was listening to another podcaster. Her name is Ashley Legs, and her podcast is called Slay Girl Slay. I love her podcast. I don't get to listen to it as often as I like, but it seems like every time I tune in, it's something that I need to hear. So this morning, if you don't know who Ashley is, number one, please check her out. Her podcast is really, really good, you guys. But this morning she was talking about the Tracy Ellis Ross show. Now, I haven't seen it, but I guess it's like some show where Tracy is traveling solo, just doing her solo thing. Again, I haven't checked it out, but she mentioned that with Tracy being in her 50s, I guess this is part of the show that, of why she's traveling alone. Her life turned out to be a little bit different. She's still pretty much single, and don't have any little ones at this point in her life. And, sometimes it is what it is, right? But the whole point of Ashley talking about this is because, Tracy was proud in the fact that, she may not have everything that she wants, but, she has everything she needs. And she loves the space that she's in right now. She is at home with herself. And that just hit a note for Ashley, who was like, are we at home with ourselves, regardless of what we are going through right now, what our situation, what our marital status is, whether we have kids or not, are we in the career that we want? Do we feel at home with ourselves right now, right in this moment? And I have to honestly say that it's a little bit of both for me, and I'm okay with that duality. Like, I feel at home and at times not at home with myself, and I'm realizing the only time that I don't feel at home with myself is when I'm not being authentically me. And like, going to work right now, it pains me to have to do this, but it also pains me to think that way, because then you're like, there are so many people in the world who wish they had a career right now, something to pay the bills and put food on the table. And I get that. So I try not to, you know, say or think in the negative. But that honestly is the only time, and also when I'm away from my home, and because you guys know I'm in San Diego for work. But I really would love to just be in Jamaica with my husband, or on the East Coast, period, with loved ones nearby. Not in the same. Now, I don't need to live in Philly. I don't need to live in Philly, but nearby, at least. And so it's one of those things where right now there is a duality, a push and pull going on in me. And that causes me to sometimes feel like I'm not at home with myself. How do you guys feel? Like, are you at home with yourself? Like, or are you like me? Do you have a duality to it where it's not one dimensional, and it's okay to feel both at the same time? Like, it's okay. I understand that I am a creative, and I love anything I get excited about anything creative, writing, speaking, this podcast. Like, that's what gets my juices going. And that's okay. It's okay that, the computer of it all, sitting at a desk, customer service, that's just not where my heart is. And that's okay too. But I feel like, because I can be so deep I can be so deep, you guys. I just feel like it's not authentically me. And anything that I do, whether it's work related, personal life related, anything that I do that is not authentic to who I am, I immediately don't feel at home with myself. So now that I have identified that, the plan is to moving forward, really start getting serious about aligning myself, surrounding myself, and really only participating and offering up my time to things that I feel authentic about. If it's not in me, then it's just not in. You're gonna have to get somebody else to do it. It's just not in me. And that's okay. That is okay. So I'm not saying I'm quitting today. I'm not gonna walk in here and quit my job today. Absolutely not. But it opens or puts a mirror to my face to really start to recognize where I feel like, again, I've said this on the podcast so many times. There are changes that I'm making, and changes that we should be making in our 40s. I have my whole life still ahead of me, and I don't you the settling that I feel is not authentic to who I am. And so, yeah, I just thought I'd share that because I thought that was a really, really interesting topic. And I want you to do the same thing. Really take a second and think about it. Are you feeling at home with yourself? If you are, that is such a beautiful thing, and I am so happy for you. And if you're not, that is also a beautiful thing, because you recognize where where you want to make some changes. And I know that you're going to do it because we're doing it together. Okay. I just made it to work. Jeez. I'm here now. But yeah, I just thought I'd share. And if you just love listening to podcasts in general the way I do, because I genuinely love listening to various podcasts, you should check out Ashley, Slay Girl Slay. It's a really, really cool podcast. I think you guys would like it. Anyways, I'm here at work, but I really want you to think about, are you at home with yourself? And then maybe we talk about and touch on, like, I'm backing up and I'm like getting close to where. Okay. Anyways, and maybe we also need to touch on and talk about, how do you learn to feel at home within your own skin? How do you do that when you're not feeling that? And for me, my plan is knowing that I'm taking the steps and making a plan to one day very soon put these things behind me, and just knowing that I am going to, it's not I am going to, I am, okay? I'm doing it, okay? If I couldn't do it, then I wouldn't have the idea of doing it. The thought wouldn't even run through my mind if I wasn't capable of doing it. So I know for sure that I am going to be releasing a lot of things in my life that aren't authentic to me, that takes me out of that feeling of feeling at home with myself. The last thing I know that I want to do, the last thing I want to do is not feel at home in my own skin, not feel at home in my day-to-day activities, not feel at home. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. I've lived too long. I've seen too much. I've done too much I know too much to settle and feel like this has to be it for me. That's not the case. So, hello. So I just wanted to drop this little gem, just a little thinker, a beginning of the week thinker. Okay, are you at home with you right now in this very moment? And like I said, if you're not, that is okay, because we are identifying that and we are changing. Okay, we are actively moving away from things that make us feel like strangers in our own life. Like literally, we're getting away, and it's about to make me tear. Y'all already know I'm a crybaby, but it's about to make me tear up. But we are moving away from things that literally makes us feel like a stranger in our own lives, in our own skin, in our own home. We are moving away from that. And I am just so blessed to know that even if one person, if only one person is on board with me, I am okay with that. Because the Bible says, okay, I don't, I try not to get too religious, but the Bible says when two are gathered, God is in the midst. And all, I don't care if it's just one of us, because now that makes two. Okay. And we are moving forward and coming out of that season. And I love you. Happy Monday. And I'll probably pop up again this week. I was about to say I'll see you on Sunday, but you'll probably hear from me before then. Anyways, happy Monday.